So, go in and catch me up on just the past few months with Xyla.
I've been primarily just working on trying to get her to walk around like different areas and deal with the nervousness.
Sure.
And then starting to work on like place. Because I was like, one of the problems that we're still having is like in the house when like people come,
Yes.
she like goes crazy.
Yes.
So like I wasn't sure if like place would alleviate that, or if there was something else I should be doing.
Sure. So it's a potential answer, okay? And at any point, feel free to shoot me an email with any questions, okay? Because I hate that you spend a couple of months where it's like, oh, we're dealing with this, because I can always help you. Is the theory behind the place command is if Xyla's there and you want to do it proactively. So 5:30 guest is coming over, 5 o'clock she's already there, right? But we know Xyla is a nervous dog. So when the bell, the doorknob happens, she becomes territorial, but then she also becomes nervous because now she's under stress. So chances are she's going to be like, screw your place, like I'm going to charge at the door, right? So if I know that's going to happen, or I assume that's going to happen, then I tether the dog to something. So like I move the place, like for instance, like let's say, the old school radiators that houses had, very secure, right? That I would put the bed near there and tether her to that. So even if she tried to get up and charge, she's stuck, and I can correct her to make her go back onto it, right? So then it becomes, you're making place more meaningful than the stressor of the door, okay? And you get through that with power. So you keep going up until eventually, maybe you hit 90, she goes, crap. She goes back on place and goes, fine, I'm gonna stay here then. But then I wouldn't worry about guest-dog interaction, okay? It's really, make it simple in the beginning. Don't get off of there for nothing, okay? The second approach is if she loses her marbles over something, it's a separate exercise of where we back the dog away and we use the remote to de-escalate them and calm them down so that when the guest comes in, if she's not on edge and she's calm and passive, we shouldn't be getting a charging, barking action, okay? I have a video on it that I can send to you so you can kind of see it and get an idea. But obviously I couldn't teach you that here, right? But I would wait, of course, after your move and everything. Once we go into phase 4, we're most likely going to start going back into our usual routine of things. And expect for her to take 2 to 4 weeks to find, like you might see like maybe she's like doing good, which kind of fools people because she's out of her element. And then once she settles, here I am, okay? So nothing out of the ordinary if that happens, okay? Anything else?
Is there anything I can do while we're walking that can help with the nervousness? I mean, like I try to like stay confident at when I'm talking with her, and like she just, even if it's not that many people. So I don't know if I should go to places where there are more people to like, or if that would be nice.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Because like let's say, because you come from Prospect. Quieter, right? That when you come down here, and once you move down here, you're not going to have any choice but to flood her, right? Is eventually, if she's able to kind of accept and not be so worked up about it, it's going to be time, but it's also exposure. So you moving to a place like this is actually, in my opinion, beneficial because there's no avoiding it, okay?
Should I be correcting her when she like freaks out? If she sees or hears something or no?
Yes.
I should.
Yeah. So, in her mind, let's say you're in a high traffic environment and she loses it, and you're like, well, it wasn't a bad thing. Like, she didn't do anything wrong. Does that make sense? You're thinking like a human, but as a dog, you're thinking, if I allow this to happen, I'm actually reinforcing the nervousness because that's what fuels it, right? So by you tapping it and saying that's nonsense, she's going, okay, well, that's not an option. That's not an option. This is not an option. Well, the only option is to accept, okay? Which might provide more stress because now she no longer has an outlet. It's part of the process. Continue, and eventually it's like, oh, there was nothing to make a big deal about, okay? Now, I'm actually seeing a lot of progress here from what I remember, okay? So I remember when it was just me and you in front of my facility, on Campbell there, when I walked around, remember how
Yeah,
she would move? Now she's not moving. And earlier that couple walked right behind her and she went like this and then went like this. She didn't move. That's a lot of progress, okay? Because you're expecting like normalcy, right? We can't make her unnervous. But this cat, like how she's handling her nervousness now, I have goosebumps. It's so much better than what it was from what I remember, okay? So very good, okay? Other questions? All right, so obedience-wise, I know we did the heel, I know we did a bit of place, we started recall stuff, okay? Did we cover anything else?
we did like sit.
Sit, okay. Did we cover stick? Okay. Is there anything in particular you're wanting to cover right now?
Eventually, I want to get back to. I need to refresh on the weight.
Okay, sure.
I mean, that won't be as. Not anything else.
Okay, how about we do this? Let's treat today as a review, so I can see. I'm gonna see what you know, what you remember. We'll tighten a few things up, and we can start recall as soon as the next time I see you. Okay, and then you would just bring your long leash, of course, to practice with. Okay. So I'm gonna have you just show me, like when you practice your heel and everything, what that looks like. And what's your number right now?
50.
50. Okay, and has that been like pretty consistent for her, or is that like because of the environment?
That's for usually like 45.
Okay.
When there are dogs around, it goes up to like 60, 70.
Sure. Okay, and we have a dog here too that we can use to see if she will see any reactivity stuff. Okay. So go ahead and show me your heel, your turns, your stops, and all that stuff. It's okay. Do whatever you have to do to, get her back under focus or control. Good. You're fine. Good turn. Good turn.
Oh, good.
Try doing a pivot back. Yep. Excellent. Right. Yep. Good. And keep forward. Hug to the left a little bit. There you go. There you go. Good. Good. Go ahead and bring her back. Very good. Slow to stop. Excellent. what would you rate yourself, percentage-wise? Like 80%, 90%, 100%? Wow. What would you rate it?
Higher than that.
Yes. What would you give?
Maybe 100.
Give him 100?
Yeah.
I go 90. Okay?
100.
But they gave you 100. This is Enrique and Brianna, by the way. They're my junior trainers and they help. They're my camera crew too. Okay? So, correct here? Everything was good. Your mechanics were good. Your movements were good. You keeping her focus was good. The only couple things I saw were still a little tentative. Okay? And you're giving her some time to kind of recover, whereas I don't give time to recover, I make her recover. So there was a couple turns in the very beginning, and I think you said something like, oh, she's not paying attention. And it would have been like you kind of slowed down, and you took like a few seconds, that by the time you kicked in, she was already correcting because it had dragged so long, right? Whereas for me, if I saw her going off, I'd already been, boom, going the opposite way, okay? That was a big thing. With the gentleman here, because I think it was the way he was moving, it was a little off, that she was getting unsure. And I saw she was doing fine, and I used that to my advantage, and you were naturally giving space, and instead I said, come in and press her, right? And then she was kind of like this. It was a really good moment, right? Because that's life. And you kept her there, and eventually she recovered. She wasn't 100% comfortable, but she got more comfortable, right? Because you didn't shelter from it. The other thing would be, when you walk with her, is that your natural pace? No? Is it faster? Okay. We'll do another run through. But really, it was just I think you're giving too much time before actually kicking in. So think about it this way. When you add in that delay, if she's delaying because she's nervous, and let's say we're giving her the opportunity to self-correct, maybe because we don't want to apply too much remote, or we feel bad because she's under stress, right? So we're trying to kind of ease her into it. Is that you're allowing her to practice the behavior longer. Whereas for me, if she gets nervous and goes off the leg, I'm immediately kicking in. So she only gets a split second of that nervousness before it's like, now you have to recover, right? So you're teaching her a faster recovery time, the quicker you kick in with her. I also probably would have bumped it a little higher in your end. You did?
No, I didn't, sorry.
But you saw that too, right? So otherwise, everything looked good, especially since I haven't seen you in so long. It was just those minor little things, but I'd say that's about 90%. Okay? Questions? Alrighty. So I'm going to have you do another quick run through. I'm going to have you do more of a natural pace. If you have to go a little bit longer or whatever, it's fine. Remember to slow down. If you see any opportunities to correct, take advantage of them, and then make her comply as quickly as possible. Okay? Go for it. Right, good. Good turn, very good turn. Good, good, yep. There's that cloud again.
No, it's fine. I didn't want to. Oh, no, that's why I was trying to do.
You got a puppy coming, by the way.
Okay, you eat whatever you want. I'm over it.
You have a time?
No, it's fine.
I want to. No, I know. I know that.
Yep, good, good. Good turn. Very good. Go ahead and reposition yourself. I see a more confident dog. Nervous, but a more confident nervous dog. Can you guys see that? You guys never saw her the first time, right?
I remember her, but I don't remember seeing.
Like the first, yeah. Right? Especially on that last little walk, much more up. The panting, just happening, just through stress and stuff, just processing. But it wasn't so like shuddery. you know, like the first time I saw her. She's accepting the corrections much better. Her holding still. The ears being up, you know, up and back is good. Not flat against the head. Her tail also is down and kind of going back as opposed to down and under. Okay, so there's a lot of improvement. I'm gonna have to review my footage, but from what I remember, this is like an 80%, 70 to 80% improvement in terms of confidence. Okay, so very good job. So that all looks good. I know we did place, we did recall. You're not sure if you've done a stay though. That's where, like, if she's here, stay, step out. No? Okay. Place is simple. Like, you remember how to, you know how to do it. It was more so the application of it. People coming in is what your question was. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is, that actually looked really good. Is we're going to start teaching with the stay today, and then next class have your long line, and then we'll start working on the recall again. Okay. So for the stay, the way I teach it is different than most people's thoughts on how it's used. People tend to do like sit stay, down stay, right? Whereas for me, stay is implied. If I say sit, it's sit, don't move. If I say down, it's lay down, don't move. Okay. The only time I say sit is when the dog's already in the position. So like right now, Xyla is not in a sit. What is she in? She's in a heel, right? So if you were to move again, her inclination would be to move with you, okay? So human logic says, I can't say sit, she's already doing it. I can't say down because we've not taught it yet, but I can say stay because we're gonna teach it. So she's sitting, she's in a heel, I wave my hand, left hand, stay, yep. And what we'll probably do is you'll move the handle to your right hand so that it frees up your left hand. You give the stay, take up some slack, and you're gonna pivot out with that right leg like this to face Xyla, okay? Once you're done, you wait a moment, you come back. So I'm sorry, I did that. I'm trying to get stay, out, wait a moment, and then back, heel, left leg. Questions? Yes, okay. So we're in heel, we come to that stop, she auto sits, I give the stay, I pivot out with my right leg to face her, and you're gonna have your leash cut in half with your left hand, okay? So when you step out, should Xyla get up, you pull up, tap her back into position, relax, wait a moment, and then back to her side. Okay, so you should be able to do it with the singular steps, just out with the right, boom. I forgot we got this one. Make it work. Okay, so Bree is going to show you what the stay looks like. And this is Bailey, by the way. Good. Good. Go ahead and put them in the heel. Circle around and try again. Good. Excellent, right? So that would be like the final product, okay? Do one more with just the first pivot out. Stay.
Stay.
And then back, right? So the only thing that you're gonna do different, pivot back out again, is you have your left hand like this, so that should Xyla get up, stop her, tap until she puts your butt down, and then relax, okay? We want to prevent Xyla from making it back to you, because if she does so, that's what she's thinking was the answer. So you're trying to keep her at bay, so that she learns that putting her butt down and not moving is what you're looking for in that occurred. Okay? Go ahead. You got it. Yeah, yep. Right, and then you want to have that left hand like that, right? Tap. Good, and then tap, tap, and relax. Okay, yeah, that's fine for now. And then go ahead and just walk to her side again. Tap. So you're fine. because of her nervousness, she's gonna give you more fidgetiness. Okay, it's just part of the process. So you're gonna do the same thing again. You're gonna do heel, come back, stop, stay, pivot, keeping that hand here, just like what happened there. Up, tap, let her settle. If you need to again, then back, then heel. Free lesson. Very good. Take notes. Good. Good.
Am I stepping out with the wrong foot?
So you're doing, so it should be just swinging that right leg out, so you're gonna look a little silly, right? And keeping that left hand on the leg, on the leash. Because you want to assume when you're stepping out that Xyla's gonna want to move with you so that you're able to correct her, okay? It's okay, good, back to her side, good, again. Good. Right, keep your hand on your leash. There you go. Okay. Good. Back to her side. Better. Again.
Stay.
Good. Excellent. Up, tap. That's fine. Good. 3 more. Good. Tap. Tap. You're good. That's okay for now. Okay. Go ahead and just pivot in front of her there. Yep. Tap. 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 There you go. Good. And back to her side. So what happened there was she didn't have you as a security blanket, right? So when you stepped out and those gentlemen came, now she's more vulnerable. Okay. So that makes sense. You're gonna have the perfect opportunity to practice this stuff in 10 days, okay? One more.
Stay.
Beautiful, okay? So now, we're gonna build off of that. Similar to what Bree did on that one full circle, but you're gonna do a half circle, okay? Get the stay, pivot out, wait a moment, and then you're gonna just come around doing like a half moon around Xyla, and then back to her side when you're ready. Now, if Xyla does this, she keeps her butt down and pivots to watch you, you let it go. Don't remote it, okay? But if she picks the butt up or she lays down, you would correct that back into the sitting position, okay? The pivoting is because she's trying to keep her eyes on you. It almost always goes away once they associate like, oh, I don't move when you're moving. Okay, and then you just kind of like this motion, okay? Go for it. Good man.
Stay.
Up, tap. Good. Up, tap. Yeah, so keep that hand there as you're moving around. Yep, just like that. Tap. Good. Pivot around. You're good. Yep, good. Back to her side. Good. 4 more. Tap, tap, good job. Tap, good. Tap, better. Good. Good job. Good job. Up. That's okay. Good. Let's try 2 more.
Feel.
Excellent. Yeah. Good job. Good. Back to your side. 1 more.
Stay.
Good. Tap. Tap. Right. Good job. Good. Back to your side. Excellent. Okay. Very good. So, can you see how it's getting easier for her to correct? Right? So, what would be like the next step here? With what you have right now? Huh?
No idea.
Full circle.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Right? Full circle. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Expect when you get behind her, she might want to pivot or get up to keep an eye on you. Okay? So we're going to do another 5 of heel, stop, stay, step out, then start to circle around.
Just like kick him in the stomach. And beat him up a little bit eventually. I mean, see if they'll give him money. And then when they pop.
Right? Good. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Good. Excellent. 4 more. Tap forward. Good. Good. Very good.
Stay.
Good job.
Should I increase it or do you think
What's not your number right now?
65?
I think you're okay for now. Good. 3 more.
Oh, actually, no.
Much better.
3 little ways.
Right?
Oh, I didn't even bring a blanket. Oh, how I did that.
Good. Good. 2 more.
Stay.
Correct. Good job. Good job. Yep, yep. Good job. Yep. Good. Keep circling around. Sorry, guys. No, you're fine. You're good. Yep.
Sorry,
Yep.
buddy.
Good. Back to her side. 1 more.
Feel.
Good. Yep. Good. Yep. Good. Go ahead and circle around 1 more time. Good job. Excellent. Go ahead and heel and bring her back to the center here. Very good. Now, I see an opportunity here to press her nervousness. Do you see it?
Not really.
Do you guys see it? I'm deducting $1 from your pay.
Making her stay like before.
Yeah. When when she's next to you, she's far better with the nervousness, right? Which is good. But now, again, we want to keep progressing is when you had her away from you, when the 2 bikes came by and then somebody else on like a fast moving thing came by, she moved, right? So I don't care about the stay. I care about the discipline, and I care about how I can use it to push her behavior, right? So I go, okay, great, you've made all this progress here when you're at my side, but when you're solo, not so much, right? And it was actually better than I thought it would have been. Okay, because I remember the first day she was hiding from everything, right? So, you know, if I see a bunch of bikers coming through, I can give her a stay, and it's just step off like this, right? So you're only a couple feet away, but it's for her, it's a lot, and all that stuff is happening. So actually, I would do it this way: bikes are coming through here, in this direction or that direction. I give her the stay, and I step off away from her here. Let them go by, because she's going to want to move this way, and you're going to counter her, going, "No, you keep your butt there," right? Until she sits there. And bikes go by, and maybe she looks, but it's as if you were right there next to her. She's able to like stand at, okay? So that's how, when I get a nervous dog, possibly, like there's certain intersections here that are just super busy, that the owners will say, like when we get there, the dog's just like constantly like this, right? Like so nervous with all the energy, the movement. And I'll tell them that's a great place to practice. Once they get the heel down, they'll go to those corners, stop, give the stay while all that traffic is going on. They're moving around, and expect more mistakes because you're going against nervousness. So eventually she goes, I need to settle because I'm only making this more difficult for myself, okay? You might have to go up with power. The reason why we didn't go up from 65 when you asked earlier is because, you guys are fine, is because, yep. It was a little lift, probably too close. She's responding well, okay? Like we're teaching something new, we're in a more distracting environment, we're doing a new exercise, that everything that I saw was what I would expect or want to see in terms of her progress, okay? If she was being super difficult and not wanting to sit still, then yes, of course, we would have gotten up higher, okay? Questions? All right, so how do you think we're gonna make this a little harder?
More circles?
Okay, close. What else? What's something that you could do that might distract her or maybe break her mindset from holding still?
Tension on the leash.
What?
Tension on the leash.
Praise.
What?
Giving praise.
Yes, praise. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you're like, praise? But Jesse, what? Jesse don't praise dog. You're gonna circle around, you're gonna come back to her side. Good girl. Lots of energy. Stop, and just step away. Okay? She's still in the stay command. Right? So when you're coming in and giving that energy, it's to distract the brain, so that, and then also it creates attachment to a degree, because when she moves, she's gonna be like, oh wait, more, right? That it gives you an opportunity to counter, right? So once you've given the stay, if you circle around, walk away, come back 10 minutes later and stuff, it's meant to be like you don't move, period. Being pet and all stuff is you don't move, period, is what we're building to, okay? So you're gonna do the same thing, heel, come to stop, stay, boom, circle around, come back, give the girls lots of praise, and then step away. Right, tap, tap. Continue to praise. Yep. Tap. That's fine. And since you're already stepping away, you can continue with stepping away. Yep. And move around. Tap. Good. Tap. Good. Tap. So that's a little scoop. Okay, you got it. And heel. Good. 4 more.
Stay.
Better. Good.
Heel.
Good. Good.
Stay.
Tap. Tap. Back to praise. Excellent. Tap. Good. Good. 2 more. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Good. Excellent. Good. Last one. Good job. Tap, tap. Almost it. Very good. And heel to the center. She has like a sideways way of moving. Can you guys see it? She like scoot in. Good. So you can see where she's having a hard time with that, right? So now we know we have something to work on in that kind of context. In terms of application, I think stay is like the least useful command because everything has implied stay on it, right? But the way you can use it here for Xyla, of course, is like, if you come to a setting like this and you notice like there's a lot of traffic going on, well, here it makes sense for you because you're trying to press nervousness, okay? Other applications would be when you're on the walk. Let's say she poops, and instead of like pulling all over the place, I just tap her into a sitting position, give her the stay, pick it up, come back, heel. For the garbage can, like you're gonna go throw it away, I give her the stay, hold on to the leash, of course, throw it away, come back, heel. Or if you're at a stoplight, while you're waiting for it to turn green, you can give the stay, just walk around, things like that, right? So instead of like making a training session like this, I just apply it during the walks, okay? Go to the store with her, like Home Depot is dog friendly. Pet stores like PetSmart, Petco. You just gotta be careful because people, when you're in that setting, they just assume like, oh, dog, I get to touch it, right? So, I'm trying to think. I think some Best Buys are like dog friendly. I know there's some in the South that are dog friendly. But now you're going into like in the store, the lights, carts moving, shopping carts, the checkout people and all the movement and like the tight space for a nervous dog can be stressful. Okay, so when you go in, don't be surprised if maybe she looks like she did when she first started because of the environment. It's like a lot going on in a tight, closed environment. But for pressing her, it's good. Okay. Trying to think here. Questions so far?
So we talk about like her first day at the apartment and like first.
Okay.
Any suggestions? Like we're past the daycare while we're doing the video. Any suggestions that she might have like a positive feeling about the place?
Walk. So it's really just so like the best way to go about it is to walk from point A to point B, and B being the end spot, which you're not going to do that. So instead, what I'll do is, like, let's say on the first day you're going to settle in, right? In the morning and go for a nice long walk. You're exposing her to the environment, right? Structure, of course. You give her some rest time. So when you bring her back into the home, she should be in a resting state. Okay? She's tired. You've built some familiarity. So that's one way to go about it. Again, expect for the first 2 to 4 weeks, she might not be showing her true self. So don't like. I've had people in the past like, oh, the dog's like Jesse, like moving, like fix the dog, and then 3 weeks later, it's like, oh crap, the dog's back.
Jack and Elise were kind of being
So any separation anxiety that you have?
Not that I know of. I don't think
Are you in a standalone house right now, or are you in like an apartment?
so. It's a townhome.
Okay. Are you moving into like a condo or something? An apartment? Okay.
With the elevators.
An elevator? Yeah. Okay. So, do you have like a dog cam or something?
I do.
You do? Okay. I suggest setting that up. And then maybe, are you working from home now, or are you?
I work in school, so it depends on if we're open.
Gotcha. So
Right now, I'm not working because I'm actually summer break.
She'll be with her for a month.
okay,
July.
before like
School
school starts.
Until school.
Okay, and then potentially you might go to school. Otherwise, it might be from home. Okay. So the issue that quarantine has presented, I'm not saying that this will happen, but it's a possibility, is that since people can't get away from their dogs, separation anxiety. Okay, especially with puppies. So, is she crate trained? She is. Do you use it at all?
Unless there are people over.
Okay, sure. So what I would suggest, just because of quarantine, because you're trying to prevent something from potentially happening, is that I would try to. I understand you're like home right now, you're on break, so you have more free time. But I would like kennel her for 4 hours, okay, for the day. And like, let's say you do go to school, would it be like a 9 to 5 thing, or is it like your schedule all over the place?
I'm there from like 7 to 3.
7 to 3. Okay. I would kennel her during that time frame, like 7 to 1 or something like that, to start acclimating her to you leaving potentially, right? So even though you're there, you're creating a separation of like you're not always going to be with me, so that should you have to leave, one, you've already created a routine of 7 to 1, you're in the kennel, so there's that. And then ideally, once you have to leave, you don't get anything. Okay, if possible, you kennel her 7 to 1, and then find reasons to leave. Okay, I understand you can't like there's not much to do now. Okay? Can't go to the movies or anything. But go out get groceries or something. Like use those periods. So I would plan those things during that time frame to try to replicate what life would look like once things are more so normal. Okay. If we see anything happen, then you let me know. Okay, because we got a new environment. It's not uncommon where I get clients who their dogs would be great in a small suburb or something, and then they move to the city, and the dog's reactive, lunging and barking, and having issues on the elevator. And then I go, because you went from a quiet environment to a busy environment. Now you are already a step ahead of them because you've got the foundation down. So I'm not too concerned on that front, but just be aware that there may be some changes. Okay. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to, are you at the appropriate level? You know her better than I do, so you can always plan ahead for things, right? Like as that dog came and I saw you right away, just started shifting gears, right? That's fine. It's better to be proactive as opposed to thinking she's made a lot of progress and just going, well, I hope she's a good girl. Like I always make the dog be a good dog. Okay. The elevator, has she ever been on one before? Okay. That might be, you might get like when it moves, kind of like shudderiness, or she might want to like melt to the ground. Which if she did that, you would just promote her into this position. I don't care about the sit, but I don't want to let her give in to the nervousness and wanting to shut down and like melt. Best positioning is when you come in, since she's on your left, if you walk into an empty elevator.
Does it have to be empty, or can you go with somebody inside the elevator?
That's what we'll have to see. But yeah, like I can't.
Initially what would you suggest?
I would suggest empty first, right? Because that's always the easiest. So it's like you're already in there. If someone comes on, that's fine. But if there's like a group of people, I would hold off a bit. So like let's say, do you know what floor you're gonna be on? 8? Oh, that's not too bad. 8 out of 50? 50? 15, 1-5. Okay. So you get on, elevator opens up. I walk in and I position myself to the back left corner of the elevator, right? So it's elevator wall, Xyla, you, wall. You shorten your leash. So if someone comes in, if there's a potential issue, just like you are, boom, you're ready, right? And then you tap her back into position. So this is more secure, okay? If it gets tight and then you got people like squeezing in front of you, earlier I saw a little bit of lip curl when that guy came close to that bike. You're watching for those things, okay? We really play it by ear to see how is she comfort-wise. You're fine. How is she comfort-wise, especially in that tight space, okay? And then we see what happens. Worst case scenario is if you're unsure about her in the elevator, just pop a muzzle on her, go down the elevator, go out the building, remove it, go for your walk, come back, put it back on the elevator, get inside. Okay, it's whatever makes you feel better at the end of the day. Because then you remove any anxiety or nervousness about what happens if she bites somebody, right? What happens if she lunges is that you have that buffer there, okay? So just walk her if you can in the morning. If you do another walk before bed, it's good too. And it's just this stuff. Because this helps create transition, how would you say, familiarity. Because this structure that you created here over Prospect Heights, correct? And you bring it here, it's like, oh, life's the same structurally, but now I'm just in a different environment. Okay, that creates some familiarity there. Other questions? So your homework for the week is just review the stuff, add in the stays, on your walks and everything. For next class, you'll still be in Prospect, right? And are we planned for next week?
I think so.
Okay. Sure. 2 o'clock? Okay. So then we can either start on the recall. Otherwise, if you have any issues, we can always just work on what you want to work on. That would be the general plan. Once you're here in the city, if things change because different living conditions, then you just let me know and then we shift accordingly. Okay. Anything else? I see a big improvement.
It's much better. Like used to be when with me and my husband, we were just gonna go that far. But just us putting this, we don't even like press it. As long as you open it.
It's on? Yeah. That's why I tell people it's like a cop on a collar, right? And I think I went over this with you before. Like, don't worry about like when does it. Like for me, when you need it, it doesn't go away, right? But if she's great in the house and she's great in all these other like contacts, then you don't use it, But anytime she's going to be off leash, or anytime you're exposing her to a high stress environment, my suggestion is it's on. Okay, excellent, good job. If anything pops up, let us know. If you have any training questions, always feel free to email me, and then more than happy to help. Otherwise, very good job. Take care. Have a safe drive.